like a worm in the storm. A hungry hunger inside of me. I can't be reborn. I'm a monster, spreading hate, stealing time. I'm a monster, laying base when it's cloudy. Oh, pilgrim inside of me. Tell me, what's my remedy? I'm a fraud, call me liar. A true psychopath, don't love me. I win your loss, take your trust. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Maybe people are like, there it is.
Going out to all the upstarts, rabble-rousers, change-makers, and those who are just here for a revolution, you are tuned in to WNLR Neon Lights Roleplay for another episode of The World Within You, our bass-boosted, spray-paint-splattered take on Voidheart Symphony by Minerva McJanda. For the next few hours, we will flip like shadows between urban playgrounds and nightmare mindscapes contained within, well, any major city in North America. If you like Persona, Psychonauts, or just seeing the wicked bend before the uncompromising ideals of the young, superglue that dial right where it is. Before the main event, be aware that Voidheart Symphony and the story we are about to tell will be one that meditates on the very real evils, both great and small, that people subject each other to. While our players have safety tools in place and a mic in the booth, if you're catching our show from across the airwaves, know ahead of time that we might touch on difficult subjects. Listener discretion is advised. If you ever feel uncomfortable, you can always cut the feed and jam to something that soothes your soul, hopefully rejoining us and our renegades later. For this episode in specific, we may cover policing underage people, gentrification and redlining, homelessness, misogyny, and racism. Now, I have prattled on long enough, and we have a digital studio absolutely bursting with talent. So I would love to introduce our cast and have them answer the following question. How and where do you feel like you fit in? Let's start, for chuckle's sake, with our very own Michelle.
Okay. Alright, cool. That's me, Michelle. I'm playing Sushi, our actual freaking cat. He, him pronouns today. So, respect those. How and where does Sushi feel like he fits in? That's a hard question, because Sushi was a street cat. Like, all of their lives. So fitting in is more of a, I guess, smell of the pavement, the streets, but also that's kind of changing a little bit now. Sushi's not really sure.
Well, we're all in a place like that every so often. Let's go ahead and go clockwise around our order and pass it on over to Leona.
Oh my. Remind me again what I'm saying. Hello, my name is Leona. You can find me all over the internet, the Leona Maple. I am playing Neela, who uses she, her, and stars pronouns. She is our provider playbook. She is... Okay, the question is, where does she feel she belongs?
Yeah. Where do you feel like you fit in? And when?
Ooh. It's tough for her. I don't know if she's kind of a first-gen born and raised in Parkside / Buddy Bar Boulevard space. And it's tricky. The feeling of fitting in is something that's really hard for Neela. because she doesn't feel like she fits in. I think that's inherent to her, like that first gen foot in each world type of vibe. And I think her art, like her mandalas and marigolds, is part of her trying to bridge that gap and to create paint and artwork that helps her feel like it's a place that she fits in. So I'm gonna say when she's out tagging and painting.
I love that for her. Passing it on around the horn, next up we have Tate.
Hello, Internet, and hello, Twitch. My name is Tate Washburn, and today I am playing the Harlequin, known as Jordan Karsten, the fun-loving and never really in the right place, perpetual new guy with just way too much ADHD and excitement. And yeah, he doesn't have like a place he feels like he fits in, but he does feel like he fits in with his family, especially as like the sort of, I can't remember if he is the oldest sibling or if we've said that he has older. I think he's the oldest.
I think you've said in the past, I believe, that he is the oldest.
Yeah. But, you know, like, amongst his siblings specifically, not even with his parents around, it's like, yeah, but we all know who we are and what we're doing and how we fit together, so it works really well, I guess. It's one of the places in his life that doesn't have conflict is when he's hanging out with them, so, yeah, he fits there.
Awesome. And next up, we have Landy Dan.
Hey, that's me. Hello, I'm Landy Dan. Tonight I'm playing our musically inclined watcher, Scott Reiser. And Scott's another person who, like, hasn't really felt like they fit in most places. I think that's why he likes, why he's taking the music, is that, like, it's something that he can kind of express himself to others in a way that isn't like having to fit in with a crowd. But I think he's starting to settle in more with now that he's met the crew and started getting along with them.
Yeah. I love that everybody answered in one way or another. It's this group where I feel like I fit in. And that's great. Very, very cute. Yeah. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and imagine with us the world within you. Tonight, we do not have Milan here. Don't worry, he's not taking another extended break. They will be back with us, I assume, next time. So, yeah. To take us into the city. So, we zoom in on a top-down bird's eye view of Etterridge City. And we see kind of the breeze rolling through. We see camera angles cut across to multiple different characters where we've seen them recently. There is a montage replaying the arrest and detainment of Jovan, the confrontation that Jordan had with the arresting officer. We also see those white flowers from last time, otherworldly, blooming over the city, and particularly blooming over Parkside Boulevard or Pardiva Boulevard. We see a general energy in the city with those blooms opening shift from one of engagement and community that we saw in the fall to a winter that is, for reasons that nobody can really put their finger on, more divided, and all the small groups in the city are keeping to themselves in a way that they don't normally. I think with that, we get an opportunity to check out what Scott Reiser has been up to since he got back from break. By the way, you didn't get an opportunity to answer this question last time. Did Scott do anything over winter break specifically?
I was hoping you'd forget to ask me that. Probably not. I mean, like, I don't have the means really to do much in the way of like fancy stuff for break, so whatever I did over the holidays was most likely a low-key affair.
Okay. I imagine it was probably a good time for him to be involved in like shows at different bars and stuff. It's a good time for like artists and musicians to make money the holidays. Okay. Well, cool. So, we did last time go through the daily actions of the rest of the cast, so it is on you. What is Scott Reiser getting up to now that we're back?
Well, I'd like to try and at least see some of the crew, see what's happened with them, especially since if I was away, I would not be abreast of the most recent developments. So,
Yeah.
what
What does that look like?
That is going to try and check in with Jordan.
Okay. So,
Totally not.
what's the context?
Well, they meet to play guitar together, as I recall.
Yeah.
So, probably invite him over for a jam session / catching up.
Cool. Have we ever seen the inside of Scott's house? I don't know that we have.
Oh man. Well,
What's this?
it's not very big. Probably like, what do they call it? Like a split level? Is that where it's like?
Split level is like there's 2 floors and then sometimes like a sucker right here.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like split level with like the living room and the kitchen right there, and then like a basement, and then like on the top level is where like the bedrooms are. So Scott's room and where his mom sleeps.
In Scott's house, where does he play guitar usually? Or where do he and Jordan go to practice?
Probably the living room, just because that's where there's the most space.
Okay.
Or maybe the basement if we're trying to be somewhere out of the way.
You tell me.
Let's say the basement then.
Okay. Yeah, so you have your setup down in the basement.
Mhm.
Great. What were you gonna say? Go
And if
ahead.
it sparks joy, I think it's funny if the scene starts with, like, you know, the door is the center of the split level, so you can go upstairs or downstairs from there. And it's just door opens and Jordan immediately, not waiting for any responses. Yeah, thanks for doing this at your place. Just all of my siblings have decided to get into paper mache art. There is not a single surface in the house that is not covered with just paper goop. And also, I totally figured out the riff from that one game, and he doesn't wait for you to say anything. He just immediately tries to plick this thing out. This complicated riff. Like, see?
Wait, what video game? What video game is...
You learned the bass line from Final Fantasy II.
I didn't want to say that because that's where my brain was going.
I love that.
I'm gonna say it's an in-universe game that doesn't exist in our universe, and I refuse to name it at this moment.
The Last Phantasmagory.
Penultimate Phantasmagoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're playing guitar together. When you meet with the rebel, you trigger their hangout move, and they trigger yours. Then you, Scott, are gonna check against fealty. So tell me, what do each of your hangout moves do?
Well, I can tell you what Jordan's does. That's the one I have on my sheet.
You shouldn't. You should have yours.
Well, I have your crew covenant.
Yeah, but you still have your own on your sheet, shouldn't it?
Scott.
I do not.
Mine is the vagabond.
Oh, I have yours as the I thought we were doing Arcana.
Yeah, it's the it's so you're gonna trigger your Arcana's guy. Oh, okay. So you wrote Jordan, but that's not actually Jordan's thing. I believe that's yours.
Oh, okay.
What does it say it is?
It's the sun.
Yeah, that's on your sheet, the Watcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the three.
Okay.
You can just rename that to crew when you've got a minute, because that's what. Yeah, that's what it would be in game terms. So read out the crew covenant for the sun.
All right. When you spend time with the sun, at any point you can ask them one of these questions. The sun will do their best to answer, and their answer will always be more right than wrong. Who's really behind blank? Who's keeping blank a mystery? And what is the connection between blank and blank?
This is such a good hangout move. I am constantly impressed with Minerva McJanta's ability to write interesting hangout moves. Yeah, so Jordan, ball's in your court.
Yeah.
You get to ask those questions. Feel free to let the scene play out before we get to the details of them. Jordan, what is your hangout move?
Mine is the vagabond. When you hang out with a vagabond, you can tell them about a dilemma you're facing, whether through the vagabond's advice or otherwise. The architect will tell you what the immediate consequences of each choice would be.
Okay.
These work extremely well together.
I love this.
So
So play it out. What does this look like as you access your arcane wisdom?
As far as the scene goes, I think despite Jordan always immediately launching into conversation, he does look to Scott as like the more talented musician, and is sort of looking for his like direction as to like how do we practice this. Like what are we looking at right now as we're sort of jamming? What's the direction? So he'd plop down on the couch very lazily backwards with his guitar and be like, just following along with what you're doing.
Oh man, Jordan would probably hate the way I do things.
Probably, but he's a firm believer in following someone better than you.
Because the way Scott does things is like, I'll play through it as much as I can. If I get to a spot where, if I get to a tricky spot, then I just start drilling the tricky spot. Like, I don't know how off the top of my head the bass line to Final Fantasy goes, but
I also imagine that we're practicing like songs that we might actually play at some point, not whatever funny lick that he just figured out while sitting in his bed.
right. But yeah, like especially
Yeah.
for guitar, where it's like there's a lot of tricky fingerings involved. Like a lot of it is just do it over and over again until you get that muscle memory. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, he'd follow you along. Like that's not any different in
Until
his
your
brain
fucking
than like
fingers feel like they're about to
drills
fall
in a martial arts thing. So he's like, yeah, you just do this over and over. It's also probably pretty clear why Jordan thinks he's not as good is because he's barely managing to following along with like somewhat complicated chords. It's sort of like more of the rhythm section. He doesn't have a bass, but it's basically that.
apart. It's basically that.
Yeah. Rhythm guitar chords. Anyways. It's somewhere in the middle of that as we're like going over and over this section. I think Jordan would sort of just recount the lowdown of, hey, we saw Siobhan, or I did, the other day. He was getting harassed by a cop.
Wait, what?
Some sort of like weird AI thing.
Yeah.
Like he said that it's some like computer camera bullshit said that he did something that like he clearly didn't because he just got into town.
I have so many questions. Like,
Yeah.
first off, if it's on camera, why do they need a computer? Can't they just have a person look at it? Like,
Oh, it was, I don't know, facial recognition. I'm not some kind of tech cop. Yeah, RoboCop would never. But yeah, so I don't know. We gotta figure out like sort of the connection between that and I don't know if you've noticed, but there's just the castle stuff is happening and the magic shenanigans. Have we, as like in character, decided on a word for this? Like magic thing?
You've probably heard. I'm sure you've heard the other like mystical beings that you've talked to refer to the presence as the castle. You know that there's a balance between the world and the void. And what else? Yeah, I think that's all you would have had as like canonical information. But you can call it whatever you want.
Yeah, like there's just been some more of the void castle magic bullshit shenanigans. And Jordan stops playing for a second. And I had a really weird dream. Like a really weird dream.
Weird.
Also, I was seeing through cameras, but like for real, not like a vague dream set. My dreams are never coherent. They're wild, changing every instant, and this was so clear of real places, and I went and looked, and there's really cameras there at those angles, and I still remember it, which is wild for me. That feels like a connection, right?
I mean, it's too like it feels too similar not to be. But it, like, had you been to any of these places before? Like, I don't know, are the cameras new?
I mean, I've been to a lot of them before just because we tend to go everywhere in the city, almost. And it isn't just, like, neighborhoods and stuff. Gas stations.
So, to answer one of those questions, at least from a God's eye level.
Say, like, I'm God and my word is the truth.
Yeah, to be God about it for a minute. Just like in our world today, there are a lot of cameras that, you know, for one reason or another, unless you're looking for them, you don't notice them. But it's the kind of thing of like, as soon as you saw them, you were like, oh, these things are everywhere. And that's the kind of relationship to cameras that you suddenly have. It's like, some of them were new, most of them were older. A lot of them were just like tapped into, or were just like part of a building's, you know, old security system. Yeah. Some of them were like door cams.
Yeah. I think Jordan would be able to say that probably most of them have been there already, but I mean, come on. And he sort of gestures himself. How often do I remember the exact details of a room or location I have been in?
You know,
I misplaced a chair once.
there was that time you lost your cell phone while you were calling me on it.
Yeah. I put it on speaker and put it down. The headphone, it's just...
Do you want to ask that question now?
I think the question is what is the connection between the AI camera thing that accused Jovan and my dream, probably?
Okay.
In your dream.
So, and in case this isn't made super clear by the phrasing of this hangout move, you, Dan, get to decide something, and it is my job to make it correct.
Oh, goody.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
get
have
to
a ton of
ruin
power
both
with this
days.
move. Say that again?
I get to ruin both of our days.
Yay! Also, I want you all to know that I have officially made a doc for this group that's just called Consequences.
No truth, only
Okay.
consequences.
That feels mildly violent, Game Maestro.
Truth is relative.
I just have to remember some things that have fallout, and therefore I have a Consequences document.
I just, that pains me, but it hurts good, you know? It hurts good.
All right, Dan, what is the connection between the cameras and the dream?
I mean, it feels. I mean, the dreaming about cameras after, like, as we're learning about like AI surveillance, it seems like, I don't know. It seems very direct, but like, Scott's answer would be like, I don't know, man. With all this like castle bullshit, like, I think this might be I think this might be the void trying to warn you about what about a new threat. Like how much do we know about like how the surveillance and what's his face from last time, Adam Cook, are like, related to the castle at this point?
I'm gonna go ahead and imagine on Milan's behalf that Jovan would have probably said something along the lines of, yeah, apparently there's some pencil neck working on like a scanning algorithm for cameras, where it's doing like facial recognition, but it's bullshit. And if pressed, he would have been like, yeah, the guy was like Adam Cook or something.
Clearly, they probably mistook you for someone more attractive, Funky Face.
I was like, do you think this could be the castle working its fucking tentacles with you? I really should have phrased that better. Wow.
Yeah, as soon as you said it, man, I wasn't gonna say anything. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like I was looking out of something else's eyes. I don't know.
I mean,
Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
No, you can go.
I was just gonna change the topic if you got something to say. This will be in character. I was just gonna change the topic, man. If you got something else to say, I'm here.
Nah, just like, I don't know, if the castle is trying to tell you about, is trying to point you towards cameras, and we just had to run in with a guy who's suddenly making waves in the police department. Like, I don't know, you think this could be a Clinton situation?
I gotta assume it's at least close enough for Jazz. If it's not Adam Cook, it's someone next to him at this point, right?
This is a good time
Be a
to
nerd and a cop. Damn.
Oh my god. You would not believe the number of nerd cops I know.
I think they just call those forensics.
Yeah. Tate knows this. Jordan is like, how can you be both?
they saw RoboCop, and there was like, wow, a cool movie about a robot who's also a cop.
Oh no. This is where I remind you that you, Dan, have a question that you can ask of Jordan.
What was the exact?
Like, you can tell them about a dilemma you're facing, whether through the vagabond's advice or otherwise. The architect will tell you what the immediate consequences of each choice would be.
Oh, great. This is a great question this is a great chance to have after I wasn't here for the last session.
You could look at your crisis.
Yeah.
Think about the dilemma of the moment. You got options.
Yeah. Well, so my crisis right now is. God, this is gonna sound like the worst, the dumbest. But my crisis right now is.
You're literally a teenager.
Well, my crisis
Everything
right
is a
now
big deal.
is my crisis right now is I got to like I went around like doing more shows and like now people know who I am, which is gonna make it very hard to A, do any of our tagging, and B, like do any of our investigation work because now like I can't keep as low a profile.
I think that's a great thing to ask your friend for advice about.
How do I become Jordan, how do I become less popular? You seem like you would know.
I'll try not to take that in a hurtful way. Usually I move to another state.
Pretend I asked that in a way that was remotely tactful.
No, I love that it's not. Because you're going to be like, ouch, but also, normally I move to like another state, and that doesn't seem viable. What if you like started going to shows with like a mask on, and you had like a character? That way you could do more shows, and that wouldn't be associated with you. Because that seems more practical than wearing a mask when going to school.
El Rizero makes his debut on stage.
All I'm saying is, I will tell you at least one consequence of having a masked persona on stage is that it's awesome, and you're kind of like Guar.
Dude, if I could stream wearing a mask, I would. Like,
Nah.
I need to. First off, I need a mask, but like, I need to figure out a way to fit it over like my glasses and headphones and shit. Like,
Or under.
yeah, or under.
Get you a prescription mask.
What I'm hearing is that we need to make VTuber Dan as soon as possible.
You are not the first person who suggested this to me. Honestly, like, despite the. I can't think of VTubers without thinking of my like one friend who like has a weird burning hatred for VTubers, but like if I could stream behind a VTuber, I would. Like, it would save me a lot of trouble for getting ready.
That's so real.
Like, I don't have to do my hair, I don't have to shave or anything.
Great. But
I don't know if I can go on stage as a VTuber though.
No, well, like,
You gotta do like the
own
gorillas,
class.
where you have to have like a virtual thingy.
in character though, it's like, well, I got like I took some sewing classes, and I'm sure we got some friends that could help.
I bet you all have a friend like at school who does like weird art with the one like old 3D printer that was like donated to the school ages ago. If you want to do that and lower your profile that way, you could make that a project that you could work on. Yeah. So the consequences of not trying to hide your face from your audience going forward is that like every time you have a show, one of the risks that you run is me reopening that crisis. And I assume that you have shows with some regularity, so like it could be something that I wrap into the consequences for something else. That's the kinds of cards on the table.
All right.
Way I look at it.
The other thing is, I remember when we talked about this before, like another consequences of this was that I started meeting other rebels in other areas.
Yeah, and so like if you're allowing yourself to be known, then it makes it easier for rebel cells that are not necessarily in your city to find you. It's kind of like having like a distance in your online persona, right? Like if I was going around as myself online, it would make it very easy for people to find me and my opinions on things. But also, it makes it very easy for people to find me and my opinions on things.
Mhm.
I mean, your name isn't actually Legendary Vermin.
Look, She's Legendary Vermin does anagram to my full name.
Ooh, that's cool.
Which we
That's
will not
fun.
say on stream.
I appreciate that. Although the cat's kind of out of the bag. I think it showed up on a stream over on Plus One XP.
Oh,
It's fine. It's out there. You could figure it
No,
out.
not my government. Anyways.
So the other side is if you wanted to create that kind of barrier between yourself and your stage presence, you could do that, but it is going to take you doing legwork to like create that separation. And it's not complete, right? Like anybody, that you do shows with might still know. So it's not creating an invulnerability there, but if you put in the time to do the project and kind of create that persona, it will be much harder for the castle to come after you using that vector.
Good to know.
Cool. Anything else to cap off the scene?
If there's paper nearby, I think Jordan would be like, "No, we totally can make you a mask," and he'll. It's kind of rough, but one of his many hobbies at one point was origami, and he makes like sort of a shape similar to the paper birds you make, and then just sort of punches eye holes. It's like, we can make those shape better. I don't have scissors on me, but something like that.
I didn't even think about doing it with the bird motif, but yeah, that could work.
That was one of the things I was going to ask as this project went on. Is what does
I
it
could
look
wear
like?
like a cape with like it's like black and white, but then like the white is just like it's one of those things where it's like two-tone, but then like the border between the black and the white is like in the shape of like a flock of birds.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
I also love it when bands wear like white clothes underneath black lights. I think that's neat. Not enough of
I
that
think
going on.
the rest of the scene as it ends is just those two, and like Jordan's just sketching away ideas. I'm like, yeah, I like that, and just sort of, again, very rough, but pencil sketching is what he's actually good at art-wise. Much better than graffiti, so he can whip those out pretty quick.
Cool. Finally, we need to check against fealty, and that is just for Scott.
all right.
I heard the
hit.
Badoodie.
Perfect.
Strong hit. Okay, so you get to pick both. One of you heals a condition. One of you can intensify your crew covenant.
Hey, do you want to take the condition? Because I don't have any conditions.
Perfect.
And I guess we're intense now.
I think it's most thematic to say I'm no longer overwhelmed. Like, this was just like a really fun decompression.
I love that.
And it's like grounded also the paranoia that he was feeling that caused it with knowing that the cameras are everywhere now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
still
that
kinda
makes a
angry
lot of
about it.
sense. Cool. All right. So, Scott, you have one more everyday action that you can take before we cycle over and tick away at the investigation clock.
Yeah. All right. Since I wasn't there for the incident with Jovan, I think I'm going to try and read the wind.
Okay, what does that look like?
So after my conversation with Jordan, I think like maybe just going for like maybe just roaming around the city and like maybe taking note of, like, kind of just taking notice maybe for the first time of like all the cameras and like how many there actually are, just like how much surveillance there actually is in the city.
Yeah. So, what element do you want to include as a part of this? A new way your target's hurting people, an unexpected meeting with an NPC, or a sense of the overall mood in the city?
I would like to know a new way that our target is hurting people.
Okay. Oh man, I have thoughts about this. Cool. So, one of the things that you see is throughout the city there are normally like homeless encampments, particularly in areas underneath major like freeway intersections, like interchanges and overpasses, and you're kind of walking through an area on your way to, you know, like between two parts of the city, and you notice that for the first time in a long time this whole area had been fully cleared out, and it turns out that the way that they had, you later kind of like, wow, that's weird, I'm gonna go look up what the hell happened. And you find a news report that like details that the police were using what they call a new monitoring system to check when the people living there were mostly like gone for the day and came through with you know, officers and essentially like small bulldozers and just pulled all of their stuff aside with almost no advance warning. Yeah, based on true events. So you know that like specifically one of the groups of people that has been targeted recently have been the homeless, and you know that they are using this technology to monitor when people are gone and make a call about when to execute these like large scale police operations. Okay. So, with that, we get to tick one mark on our clock, and we kind of file forward into our next quote-unquote day. A reminder that the default state of the investigation clock is that we're starting at like a passive level. The master of the castle doesn't know who you are, but as you do things that might garner their attention, as you investigate them, you could find yourself alerting them to your presence, which means that they start to find ways, overt and subtle, to retaliate against you. So, things that you need to do, you need to figure out how to get into their castle shards so that you can investigate the Mind Palace side of things. You're going to want to be looking for ways to get a good roll on Emperor's New Clothes, which I'm looking for the text of, which will involve confronting the vassal in person in the city, uncover the full details of what they are planning to do, meet with the people that the vassal holds dear, defeat at least one of their enforcers, potentially find yourself harmed at their orders or hands, or create organized resistance to the vassal among the city's people. So, those are your overarching goals. Who has a move that they want to do? Who has a scene that they want to set? I would love to hear from either Leona or Michelle first, since y'all have been taking a back seat for a minute.
I call not it.
All right, since I failed the nose goes,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. Here's
The holy rite of nose goes.
And I'm like, I didn't see the nose go, so then I flip over to the stream and I'm like, oh, I failed. Okay, I lost the nose go. It's okay. That's okay though, because you know what? I think what Sushi's going to has just as a question, has like Jovan like sent this like, you know, Adam cooked stuff to everyone?
Let's assume that Jovan has kind of it showed up in your group chat is what I'm gonna assume. He was like, don't worry, I'm okay. My caseworker is cool, and I'm not actually in any real trouble. This Adam Cook guy's an asshole.
That's fair.
My head Sushi was like over someone's shoulder, one of the other players. He was reading that.
Definitely doing that. And I think what Sushi's going to do is immediately just go like, I totally believe you, and is going to go and try and track down Jovan, but like probably track Jovan to like the police station and just tail the next cop that comes out and like, all right, where's Joe?
Okay, so that does not sound like any specific move, but it does sound like you're doing something within the city. So you're just trying to tail a police officer to see like what they're up to.
I think what Sushi actually really wants to do is just like, I guess, tail Joe, right? See what's going on. Also, the other thing is like, what the heck happened with Van D Sky? Because that's my other friend, and also got bothered by somebody who I'm not sure. It's like, do I smell him around here?
Could this be Pass Beneath Notice or Rebel Eyes?
Yeah, those are moves that I'm gonna call on when as we play the scene out. So I think it's pretty easy to tell that like Jovan is okay, and you're looking around probably to kind of find any link to how all this connects to Vanda Sky. That sounds like you are looking for information.
Yes.
So tell me what you're trying to learn and check against heat.
Okay. I think what Sushi is trying to learn is, I guess, try to track down Vanda Sky. Like, did Vanda Sky actually actually interact with anybody at the station? And if so, can I follow that scent trail anywhere? Because if Joe's fine, then hey, friend, please.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and check against heat.
Okay, this is definitely gonna go okay. I'm sure, absolutely sure. A weekend.
Okay. So, we're not just doing hangouts anymore. We're doing something specific. Okay. So, you it's gonna take you time to gather the information that you want, right? Because you're a cat. You can't just like wander into the police station and hang out. People are like, no, cat, get out of here. Or worse, they're going to try and take you to the pound. So, I'm going to say that it's going to take you a while to get the full breadth of information. And you're going to have to tick a gauge in order to get it.
Okay.
Is that something you're cool with?
You know what? Causing problems for myself is gonna be absolutely terrible for me, but you know what? We're doing it.
Okay. So, I would like you to tick heat.
Okay. I just got it to back down 3. It's going back.
I know. But I think that's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because you have the potential to get like further noticed by not only the individual cops who are coming and going from the station, but also the manifestations of the castle. So it's gonna take some time for this information to be usable, but basically, you start noticing that there are smells coming off of certain people that cannot be attributed to anything from the real world. I'm writing down in my consequences sheet that you're going to have concrete usable information the next time we tick the clock. But right now, what you're doing is you're kind of following a bunch of different cops as they walk their beats. You're following office workers who are coming out of the police station. Anybody who has this otherworldly smell on them. And it's hard to tell right now, like, are these people who have been to a castle shard? Are these people who are somehow, like, closely involved with somebody who has? Is there an object in the office that is giving off this smell to anybody who interacts with it? You're not totally sure. But you're going to have something usable next time we tick a clock. Next time we tick the investigation clock. However, as a part of this, someone is going to uncover what you're after right now. And that person is Vandy himself. And I think the way that this manifests... How often do you stop by the station, Sushi?
I mean, Sushi comes and goes. Like, I mean, cats sleep for like 16 hours a day, so you know.
Yep. Yeah, so I think at some point you're in the station, and Vandy either like comes in or like finishes their program. His program? I'm trying to remember what Vandy's pronouns are.
I don't think we decided on them, but let's see. Let me see. I scroll up.
That's so funny.
I don't think we did. I think it's just Vandy. Vandy's just Vandy, and
Vandy's just Vandy.
Vandy's just
So,
Vandy.
Vandy is like, hey, little dreamer. And is like, gives you that like scritch behind the ears that you're familiar with. I know what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it, but you gotta be careful.
Sushi is definitely giving like the big innocent. I'm not doing anything wrong. Eyeballs. like you know that look where like the cat just like is like crooking their head, and you're like, they definitely didn't try to eat the goldfish. Definitely didn't go fishing.
Totally innocent.
Totally innocent.
Anything bad in his eye.
Hey, I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that you're doing something that's dangerous.
Sushi like sort of just, grooms himself a little bit. You're one of those people in danger, aren't you?
Well, I don't know, man. Danger. I'm involved. It's hard to separate yourself from like the places out there, man. This is not the right music. Sorry, excellent song.
Yep.
It's hard to separate yourself from like the world, man. And I separated myself from the world, but like sometimes people can still reach out and like it's like licking a battery. All of a sudden they're like, wait, man, I know you, man. I'm gonna give you so this is also like a golden opportunity to ask Vandy other questions.
Yeah. Sushi is absolutely going to be just it's like people know you in the world, and so like Sushi's absolutely confused, is just completely has thought that Vandy has just been a creature of the void since like ages.
Used to, my guy. Used to. And then I played a little trick, spun a few tracks, and they were like, whoa! Whole world turned around in a night. And like the shadow of the earth on the other side of the sun, Vandy's sky, like a cloud of smoke.
In my head, Vandy had a cigarette at that moment and went like real hard to make an actual puff of smoke.
No cigarette, just like waved a hand, puff of smoke.
Cooler.
Have we talked about what like Vandy looks like?
No, actually. I think we mentioned it like once, and then
So, of all of the like people of the void, people in the station that you've met, Vandy is very human. And the best way I can describe them is like literally quixotic. Very like psychedelic Don Quixote. Wearing like bell bottoms, glasses that definitely are like literally like Coke bottle lenses. A hat that is probably some kind like sewn from like some kind of Victorian undergarment, but like done up with all sorts of embroidery on it. All in all, giving the impression of like being able to control what they look like in the void without any real like concrete understanding of what they're meant to evoke.
which is
Music playing. Okay, there it is.
like super cool because like Sushi is just staring at staring up at Vandy, looking back at themselves because they've been struggling for like they've gotten like more in touch with reality, but they've been struggling with the idea of who they are as like a cat, a person. Just how do you do it?
Do what, my dude?
Like, and Sushi just sort of like rolls up to like those bell bottoms, and, like just rubs against a little bit and just goes, how do you do you show who you are? Or how do you know who you are? Sometimes I don't even remember, and like Sushi just takes a moment to scratch behind their ear. Sometimes I don't even remember where I've been in the last year. Who I am the last year.
Pal, there is a constant war between knowing and being going on, my dude. You can know something perfectly, or you can be something perfectly, and never the twain shall meet. To be, my guy, I can be. But no, I cannot know. Or you could be like the people out there and know. Just know. But they don't remember, man, how to be. It's hard. But I gave up on knowing so that I could just be. It's easier, I think, to be than to know. But I think you're knowing and being. You know?
Thanks, Vandy. So,
Anyway.
do I need to go scratch?
Oh, that's the problem, man. I don't think I know. I feel like I should know. He definitely knows. But, like, he's learned something about being. Oh, shit. I got places to be. Pulls out a sundial and looks at it. Yeah, man. Places to be. Opens a door that you can't follow through to a part of the city that you don't know. Yeah. So, you will get information. It's in my document. Who would like to go next?
Oh, I'll go then. I thought in our chat for the show that someone said they would go next, but I have a thought on what I'll do. I can always go.
Look, I was going to, and then I had to step away.
Totally fine. I'm just giving you shit.
I'm having an imminent crisis, and I had to quell it. Okay, it is quelled now, though. It is quelled. I mean, hey, if you got an idea, go for it. If you don't, I can bullshit till I figure something out.
Yeah. I'm torn between two options, and we can say which one sparks more joy. Either I would love a let go type scene where effectively, like, Jordan leaves his phone out and open and not even, like, accidentally, but says to Jazz, like, you can deal with that for this second. Like, it's overwhelming the kind of media attention he's getting with his crisis. Which then you would be able to tell me what surprising thing Jazz does with that. Or I also kind of want to try and look into, like, what kind of AI computer algorithm shenanigans this camera might be by trying to cozy up to some programming nerds either in the high school or even college kids, like pretend that I'm gonna do some sort of school report on them or something.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about the people that you reach out to about.
Okay. Not to give myself like an easy way to find these kids, but we haven't defined what Jordan's parents do.
We sure
And
haven't.
I think it's interesting if one of them like works at a college. I would say his mom maybe teaches some kind of programming.
Okay. Yeah.
But Jordan does not want to go talk to her because he is 100% convinced she can read his mind. Anytime she questions him, like, she immediately knows what he has said or done. It is kind of wild. He's not risking that. But that does mean he knows where, like, the programming, like, building and rooms are. So he's going to go to the college, and it's not even, like, the nicest one. It's the local college. But he's going to go try and find the most advanced computer programmers at that college he can. And he's bringing a spiral-bound notebook that he has scrawled programming report on. This did not exist until today, but he's like, I'm doing this. And he's going to try and find some programming type college student that looks like they would love someone to tell them they're really cool and say, you're really cool, I want to learn more about AI programming. I think this looks like him walking around as this teenager, obvious high schooler, and just trying to listen in around the programming department for someone to talk about AI or facial recognition or one of the several few words he knows.
Yeah.
All his hobbies. This is something he doesn't know a lot about, and he tends to zone out when his mom talks about it. So
Cool. So would you say that you're putting up like a false front? Or would you say that you're trying to convince somebody that you're worth their time?
I
Because
probably... Sorry.
I could see it going either way, right? Like there's the angle of like, oh, you're so cool. That's like you trying to show them you're worth their time. Or if you're kind of bullshitting your way into their good graces, that could be putting up a false front.
I do think it's worth their time, but almost in the other way. It's not like... Yeah, he's trying to make it worth their time. Like, I'm worth your time. But in less of a you're so cool way and more like, I think this is really important. Like, try and be genuinely interested in what they're talking about.
Cool. Check against infamy.
Now I don't imagine that my inclusion in Nico's friend group would possibly, I could lean on that in some way. Because that's a city move.
That is a city
I
move.
know.
If you want to lean on Nico's friend group and oh yeah, there's one of their friends is like a year or two older and you recognize him in this situation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is Nico's
It's
covenant?
the stage.
Sage.
Has given you access to an exclusive group. When you use your membership of the group to open doors, gain advantage on any infamy check. If you miss the check, the architect will say how this ends up hurting the group. I think it's more interesting if that older kid isn't there, but Jordan effectively just name drops them.
Yeah. Okay, so what is this group that you have a membership to with Sage? Tell me a bit about it.
With advantage. Well, it's Nico's, like, friend group, but Nico does sort of want to, like, has friends that are influential is maybe the wrong word, but are, like, exceptional is part of this group. Like, talented people, I think, is the vibe.
Okay, so let's say that you have a friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and say talented people working across a variety of spectrums of art. Nico is connected to the indie game scene in Etterridge City.
Okay, yeah.
And so you've kind of become a member of as sort of a jack of all trades who can liaise between different kinds of communicators. You've become a member of this game dev scene by like helping Nico and friends out on projects.
Yeah. A lot of concept art, a lot of helping programmers understand artists and vice versa.
Yeah, and you're technically going to be credited on their next like indie project, which is a big deal.
Advantage
so
means
how'd
you
you
just roll again, right?
It means you roll one extra die.
Okay, I don't know how to make it advantage, so.
Roll one more die in real life.
Okay. A 4.
Okay. A 1 and a 2 versus a 4.
2 and a 3, so. I'd actually keep a 2 and 3 and keep it a weak hit, I guess, because the 4 is worse.
2 and 3 and weak hit. Yep.
Yeah, right. So yeah, weak hit. I think the way this works is he name drops the game. It's like, oh yeah, I was working with
What's the name of the
guys
game?
that are making. Oh, I gotta come up with this now.
Do something like the old 80s games where it doesn't make any sense out of context, but it sounds like a cool video game.
Trauma Rabbits. It's actually kind of like a jokey, almost Earthworm Jim-esque tone.
Cool. Yeah. Play it.
He's like, oh yeah, I was actually talking to the guys that are making the Trauma Rabbits game. It's coming out soon. Yeah, I'm actually a minor person on their team. I'm not really important. They were talking about some sort of, I don't know, like pattern recognition thing that they wanted to do, but they didn't have the money or the juice to do it. I thought that was really interesting. I want to do a project on it.
You're talking about like a neural network, right?
Yeah, I think that's what they said. I'm not related to the programming guys, but I think it's interesting.
Well, yeah, like they were planning to have like a proper neural net in their game. Those guys are ambitious, but like, wow.
They pitched it. It wasn't like we're definitely gonna do it, and yeah, obviously it's kind of a big ask.
Well, what do you want to know about it, man?
Well, they didn't get into detail.
You end up talking specifically to he's a graduate student and he's like overseeing the computer lab. This is like his side gig. You were talking with some undergrads, but this is the guy who ended up having the most time to talk to you about something. But yeah, he's a graduate in computer science. His name is Dean Schmidt. Dean.
Alright, I'll make this shape in a second.
Well, he's not a contact yet.
Okay.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, I think the direction I'm trying to steer it in is like, I don't want to take up your whole day. This is like a big school project. But it'd be really cool if I like knew more about what kind of like projects around the city would be using this sort of thing. You know, give me some extra sources as well. Like that's kind of near the end of the conversation after I've already indulged his special interest a bit.
Yeah, so what information are you looking for out of this?
I'm looking for, hopefully, a direction to look into the camera thing. Like, I tried to massage this conversation to be like, that sounds like maybe what the camera thing is doing. Can you tell me someone else who maybe is doing a cool thing with this technology around the city? See if I can get. So
you're looking for like a way to get in touch with Adam Cook potentially.
Yeah, or more information on what the heck this program thing even is, or what it's doing, or what it's being used for.
Okay.
I think I'm focusing on the software part and less on the Adam Cook part. I want to know what this is.
Okay. Okay. You want to know what you're trying to learn what the software is and what it does. Okay, so go ahead and check against heat for me.
Okay. What move is this?
This is Rebel Eyes, baby.
Okay. I didn't pass beneath notice, so I can't use my move. That's fine. Heat, you said. Also weak hit.
Okay. Interesting. So what Dean ends up saying is, oh yeah, well there's this initiative that's going on through the Etterridge Police Department where they're like basically taking pre-existing networks of cameras and they're running like a really ultra lightweight pass filter to try and see if like a face that was at, you know, a crime that was reported, but there wasn't like an officer who could respond. Like if they see that face show up again somewhere else, they kind of like connect the dots and, you know, can go ask the right people like, oh, who was this person who came in? And then they can like make an arrest later. And apparently it's got like a very good, and he's excited about the technology, like the idea that a computer could do this. It is clear that he doesn't even really know how it works. But what you end up getting is information on people at City Hall that you can talk to about it.
Okay.
Specifically, you get two names. You get the like city's director of technology, like director of technological initiatives for Etterridge City, who is trying to think of a good somebody give me a good last name. Danielle
Jarvis.
Danielle Jarvis.
I don't know, just keep.
Perfect. That's what I wanted.
I like that there's a director of technological whatever you said. I don't know if that's a real role, but it sounds like it. It has some oomph to it as a name.
9 out of 10 government titles are made up on the spot. In the city.
Fair enough.
Well, so I imagine that the city like developed this position relatively recently, and it's one of those things where it's like a black hole of money. Like nobody really knows what they do, but she's in charge of tech initiatives.
Yeah. That's like when I started my business.
What her job is.
Yeah, right? Well, it's like when I started my business and my family went, so what exactly is your job? What do you do? And like every time someone met, you know, my family at an event, they're like, what's Leona up to? They'd just be like, ask her. We don't even know. This feels like that.
What exactly is it you do here?
Yeah. You're
So,
talking about
Danielle Jarvis. Is that just like the main name that I get?
You also get the name Kosuke Yamaguchi.
Ooh, good name.
And Kosuke Yamaguchi is an outspoken public defender who is against the city adopting this technology.
Yeah, we like that.
And in true tech nerd form, Dean Schmidt is like, man, I don't know what exactly he's saying, but he doesn't like it. Has absolutely not paid attention to the critics of this technology, but knows the name and is like grumpy that this man exists. So that's Kosuke Yamaguchi.
I stand Yamaguchi. Clearly, that's somebody we need to respect. Like,
well,
let's be very quick. We are Gucci with Yamaguchi.
And I'm going to play into that, actually, because I think what I'm going to do is, for the weak hit, oh no, you pick, never mind.
Whoa, what, you have something you want to...
Yeah, I think it's interesting if what I'm after right now is what is revealed. possibly even to people watching on cameras, because there's no way in hell this place doesn't have like 4 of them. Because as he's describing what it does and like being mad at Yamaguchi, Jordan cannot control, like, very impulsive, does not control his own facial expressions very well, and goes, so you're not at all worried about a government entity having seemingly unrestricted access to literally every camera in the city? Like, you're just gonna trust them that it's a light, whatever you said?
That's already the way it is in Britain. It's been that way in Britain and Sweden for years. They're doing fine. I would like it known that Britain is not doing okay.
Yeah. Jordan doesn't necessarily know that, but he can smell some bullshit when he hears it. And he's like, Okay, just like the nastiest just face, like, sure, buddy.
Unrelated notes. I saw the funniest cover for the National Enquirer when I was at the grocery store the other day that was like, King Charles, 6 months to live. Pancreatic cancer is unstoppable. Like, it was wild.
Describing a superhero villain. Like,
it was bold. Like, it's such a serious topic. Why are you bolding the headlines like that? Will there ever
know
be
how serious
peace
topic
in
is
the royal
if it's not
family?
in bold?
Will the monarchy survive?
Well, they needed you to know that it was unstoppable.
In stuff.
It was unstoppable.
Yeah. Don't have to pick that one, but I think it's interesting if Jordan basically completely is unable to hide the fact that he is not even a little actually interested in this guy, and he's got what he wants.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it seems dumb and stupid. Anyways, see ya.
Perfect.
Jordan's not gonna go for a guy named Schmidt. No offense to any Schmidts out there.
Cool.
I'm gonna go for the guy that idolizes spy tech. The actual answer. Like, sounds like a snitch, actually.
Must be talking about Spy Gear, the line of toys from when I was a kid that I had like a bunch of.
Those were pretty cool, though, in all fairness to young Dan. The spy toys for kids were pretty awesome.
I wish that spying was what the toys did.
Yeah.
Where you can hear your parents from the other room and you're like, I know what's for dinner tonight.
I love the laser motion detectors. Yeah. The laser motion detectors were so fun.
I had a girl spy kit, and it involved a compact that you could use not only to peek over your shoulder, but it came with a pencil that looked like a lip liner that you could use to write notes in the compact on like paper, so that you could write them in the mirror, like upside down in mirror, so that only you and like whoever was in the know could read them. Also, a lipstick that served as a voice recorder. It was very silly, goofy.
Okay, but that's
So good.
that's extremely cool as well.
It's
Like,
so cool though. Like, it was
Campy.
so cool. Favorite toy. Like, so campy, goofy, but so cool.
campy spy stuff, way cooler than actual espionage.
Yes.
When I was a child, I had it was like a radar dish with a microphone.
Oh my god.
And I could hear conversations like across the house perfectly with it. It was...
Welcome, Danny. We have a raid.
Oh shit!
Hey!
Oh,
Oh, from
hey!
the corner.
Hi, Danny's corner. Thank you for bringing your corner to our corner. We love you.
Come on down.
Yeah.
We're talking about our favorite toy spy equipment.
It's true.
We doing
this is-
shit.
This is when I take a second to shout out Danny and also promote the fact that she and I are over on. They and I are over on fucking. Oh god, I'm ruining my own promo. Singularity Roleplay for Camp Runners Cross.
Yeah.
Come on down, check us out. One Tuesday every month. It's good shit. We're gonna die. Nobody here is gonna die yet. I think
what?
Jordan. Hey, it could happen. I'm not opposed.
I'm not against it.
You'd have to work for it, but Jordan, I think that's probably the end of that move.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I'm out.
cool. With that, Leona, have you got a scene that you want to run?
I have just like declared bankruptcy and figuring out what the fuck is going on. Neela knows what is going on. I don't. But I would like your assistance.
Yeah.
To help me figure out what Neela might be doing.
So, of the things that I think are like most pressing,
Yes.
Jovan basically pretty clearly indicated that the police station is a probable location for the entrance to a castle shard. One of the things that you're going to have to figure out is how do you get into a castle that is centered on a police station?
Yeah.
And I
Shit.
think there's a lot of ways that you could go about that, but that's one option. Another option that you could do is try and figure out more about Adam Cook. You've got a name, so you could research the guy specifically. Either by like, standard channels or through allies that you may have in the city. This is a good time to remind you all, city moves for your allies are super duper useful when it comes to potentially gathering information in the city.
City moves. Yes. I'm looking at those. But I feel like Neela, like if there is in fact a castle shard that we don't have access to, I feel like that's where her itch is. She's a magical girl. She likes knowing where the magic is, you know? In her heart of hearts.
Okay.
That.
I'm sorry, my brain short-circuited for a second, so what are you trying to do?
I think she wants to go investigate you're all good. Totally understand. I think she wants to go, like, poke around the police station and, like, see if she can get a feel for these castle shards, or, like how to get into it, if there is a doorway.
Yeah, okay. So...
Also, for whatever reason, I felt like drawing a card and I got 10 of Pentacles.
10 of Pentacles. There's stuff I could theoretically do with that. But I don't have the... I don't know how close the book is for that kind of thing.
I mean, I can just give you the classic meaning of 10 of Pentacles if you're looking for...
Hit me.
So... That's so funny. Everything in life is coming together magically. No more stressful nights worrying about money or rent or your job. Your home is full of love, satisfaction, and comforts. There's no need to do anything drastic or radical, believe it or not. You found some peace. Allow yourself to welcome it in. I think she's about to destroy that. Let's be very clear, though. I think she's kind of felt that vibe, and I think she's about to go against it.
Okay, so we're treating that as reverse.
Yeah, let's treat it as reverse, because I do think it speaks to the fact that last episode, Neela spent a lot of time connecting, right? I think she spent a lot of time stabilizing. I'm pretty sure all of her crises are not dire. Her crew covenant is bright. Her relationship with Angel is bright. Her relationship with Leslie the Chariot, who is Leslie still around?
Yeah, Leslie's absolutely still around.
So that one's at minor. So it's like she's kind of like she's in a really good, comfortable place, and I think she's feeling her oats, and I think she is ready to be a little brave and bold and risky. Like, she's back from her trip to India. What's going on? There's clearly stuff afoot, you know? So she wants to get her hands a little dirty. I think is the vibe that she's feeling.
Okay. So it sounds like you're in a similar way to Sushi. You're kind of staking out the police station,
Yes.
but potentially in a way that is more investigative.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
I'm gonna steal Tate's idea. Because I think that's really good. I saw something in chat and it inspired me. I think Neela is going to approach the police station with her paint. And she's going to pretend like she knows what's up. And she's gonna approach the counter and she's gonna be like, hi, I'm Mandela's Marigolds. You guys, do you remember like a couple months ago that you guys had that competition for like an artist to come paint a mural on your wall outside? Yeah, that's me. you didn't put it in your Google Calendar, did you? That I'm supposed to be here to paint today.
I think the first thing that you're told, as somebody like who the person at the front desk doesn't recognize you, is like, yeah, whatever. Take a number and we'll be with you.
Okay, fine. She takes the number. Like, it's just like, I have 3,000 followers on Instagram or whatever. Like, she's a little bit of a shit about it. She probably has more than that, but
So you're like trying to make them like give you the time of day?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, check against blood. That sounds like you're making a stand.
Me
Is
too.
this-
I bet you rebelize, but we'll do it. It's a strong hit. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. See. Is this a real competition?
I feel like there has been this competition previously. There was not a real competition. She's bullshitting and she's hoping that the people there are like not giving enough of a shit, but we'll let her do her thing. Like they're gonna be like, yeah,
Like, it
sounds
wasn't
legit.
the past, and they
Like, it
painted
wasn't
over
the-
it since because
Yeah,
it was a long
yeah,
time ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like they'll be like, yeah, whatever, sounds legit.
You went to the oldest front desk receptionist who would remember this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So, pick two.
Okay.
They don't cause you immediate problems. Your words shake them. They spend time focused only on you. You could also, since it's a strong hit, mark a condition to pick all three.
Ooh. I mean, do I want them focused on me?
It sounds like you want, it sounds like you want them to do something for you.
I want them to,
And you
let
want
me
them to
in.
sanction something for you, or at least
Yeah,
get you
true.
on the path to getting something sanctioned.
True.
Visitor's pass or something.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say they don't cause me immediate problems, and they spend some time focused only on me. Like I show them the artwork looks legit enough for them.
Yeah. Okay. So, look, it's a busy day. Who was your contact at City Hall?
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
We
I
say
don't
we've group
remember.
chatted. We say that I've sent to the group chat so you could use one of the names of the people I just picked up.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
Is that allowed? Will you let us?
Yes.
Yes!
I absolutely will allow that. So the
Thank-
person that you're,
Daniel Jarvis, probably.
Danielle Jarvis. Okay.
Danielle Jarvis.
She's in here all the time. You'd think that she would be able to take a minute to actually, like, show you around. Okay.
Sounds like y'all are real busy. I swear, like, I don't need a whole lot. I just need permission and like a pass so that nobody is like bugging me, and I'll just do my thing. Like, I promise I won't be much trouble. I was just told that I have a deadline to get this done by. That's all.
Okay. I want you to check against lack to connect, and if you succeed, I think that's, your foot in the door. You can put up a mural on the side of the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God, please work. Ooh, strong
Strong
hit.
hit!
Okay. Yeah. So they do this favor for you. They're like, okay, so every time you come in, you have to come here, get a visitor's badge, and then I will send out an email that says that you're working.
Mhm.
Look, I don't want to talk down to you. Teenagers are people, but like, obviously, if you put something up that, is pushing boundaries, it's gonna get taken down. So just, think about that.
my design was approved, and she holds up her Instagram to show like the marigolds and like the softer side of her artwork, and like this is why I was picked, is because my work is not offensive. Her smile may be a little bit plastic right now, but
what a thing to say. Goddamn.
Yeah. She's bold as brass right now, but it's just like, dang, like
Okay.
that is the choice she's made.
Not compared to that other guy, Jordan, with his
On
attack
a
social media followers.
So on a strong hit, you can also pick one. They give you access to a restricted location or a valuable item. They reveal far more than they normally would, or you hit it off, add them as a minor covenant.
For which, where do I see those?
On Connect.
I see.
Here's what I will say.
Yes.
The portal
Yes.
that you could build will work from outside. If you want somewhere where it's less likely to be detected, then access to a restricted location, like, might make sense.
Storeroom.
Yeah.
Storeroom to hide the paints, hold the paints in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick access to restricted location. Because that just feels like her thing, right? Like she can paint a tame mural outside, but if she can kind of like work a little bit of her magic to like make it so that there's a space with the actual portal that's like slightly more hidden, she's gonna try and do that, you know?
Yeah. So what they say is, okay, and if you need somewhere to store your stuff, and they kind of turn around, they have like a little safe. They go beep, boop, 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 and they give you a key.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is to the basement.
Uh-huh.
Don't mess around there. It used to be like a locker room and stuff, but that's all been moved, and like a shooting range. That's all been moved to the Cop City in Uptown.
Okay.
And they don't call it Cop City. What would they call it? The training facilities. Up City.
She's totally not trying to flinch at the thought of there being guns down there previously, but she's hanging in.
But like anywhere down there, nobody goes down there, so you can just store as much as you need. If you need to, drop off your bike or something, it's a good spot to leave it.
Are you serious? Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much.
I just don't want your stuff in the lobby. And ideally, any paint you're not using also goes down there, so nobody gets any clever ideas.
I understand. This is a police station after all. We gotta be careful. I totally get it. Don't want anyone getting bad ideas and using spray paint to say rude things. Trust me. I understand. she's holding it together, but barely.
I'm adding a new clock.
What?
As a part of this. Look, you won't get immediate problems, but you have a long-term clock of Danielle Jarvis finding out that you've made a mural that shouldn't exist.
But it's art.
Yeah. When you bullshit, people can find out. So it just depends on how this ends up getting used, right? Danielle Jarvis, bullshit detector. Okay, I'm gonna say that this is a 6-count clock.
Right.
I will make a proper clock for it on our map.
Sounds good.
think-
Meanwhile, she's kissing up to this person. She's like, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're so wonderful.
Oh, God.
I'll be sure to
Please
let Daniel
leave.
know."
Oh no! Oh, somebody was arrested. I need you gone. Please leave.
Bye! And she'll dip and she'll go into the basement because now she has a basement to herself.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to end that. Hey, gang, we ready for a quick break?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's time for a quick break.
Woo.
Hold that dial right where it is. We will be back so shortly, you beautiful people, and we will get a little bit more of the world within you. Catch you on the flip side. Hello and welcome back to The World Within You here on Neon Lights Roleplay. I'm Legendary Vermin, and as you may be a longtime watcher of this show, we make intentional space here as the World Within You team to shout out charities, point people towards causes that are important to us, and we have one big ongoing cause that my very good friend Leona is going to tell you about in detail that you probably already know about.
Absolutely. The World Within You believes in, while fighting injustice in-game, also fighting real-world injustice. Today's episode of The World Within You is continuing to focus on supporting the protests against genocide during Black History Month. We don't support genocide of any kind. We know that, right now, there are ongoing genocides in Congo, Sudan, and most well-known, Palestine. We want to draw your attention to a couple of things. First of all, shutitdownforpalestine.org is organizing a global march for Gaza on March 2nd. We encourage you to visit their site and get involved. Secondly, we want to direct your attention to a fundraiser that our friends at High Shelf Collective are doing for medical aid for Palestinians. Please donate so that Palestine can get the medical help they sorely need. Finally, we have a bunch of links that we'll be sharing in the chat that you can check out to support not only the Tiltify for medical aid for Palestinians, not only the Shut It Down for Palestine deeds, but also things like a daily click that raises money for the UNRWA, Care for Gaza, and eSIMs for Gaza. So I'll be dropping all those in chat. And that is our focus for today.
Thank you so much, Leona. This is a very important part of the stream for me, and I hope you, as our loving audience, understand, appreciate, and are with us in advocating for the causes that mean the world to you. With that, we're going to take it back in to our game. Scott, you are the next actor in our little rotation.
Great Scott, even.
Great Scott! So, you have the world is your oyster, my friend. What are you getting up to? Keep in mind, y'all, that when you pick your actions, you can bring people along if you like, even to stuff that's like your sort of like regular city moves. If you think it's a two-person job, 2 people there. When you maybe like do investigations and stuff, that's always.
So what I was thinking was, after Scott got a glimpse of how the new like AI surveillance is being used to just hurt the general people of the city, he was interested in, I guess, not necessarily raising awareness, but like kind of seeing if there was any, like, I guess getting people like aware and like maybe trying to get people organized like against the adoption of the system, or like in opposition to the adoption of this particular system. And so the last like place that you would have seen any kind of like people getting organized with that would be the support groups for the people who are affected by Quentin. And so he was probably going to either talk to Danny or Kayla about like if they knew anyone, like if they knew anything, or if they knew anyone who might know anything about like, I guess just like organizing any kind of like protests or like resistance to or like opposition to the
Yeah, I like that a lot.
This AI surveillance system.
Cool. So let's look through your relationship to your covenants with Danny and Kayla. I am curious if there's a city move that either of them have. What are their city moves, and do they make sense here, or their hangout moves? Because I think, depending on how we frame it, you could either just be going into them and doing investigation work, or you could be leveraging their hangout move or something like that.
I think as far as city moves go, so Kayla is the tower and Danny's Justice. Tower is not. Tower does not seem particularly useful for this, but for Justice, their city move is the systems of the city are unjust and perpetuate inequality, but with Justice, you can, for a moment, force them to work towards their putative, lofty goals. Is that a word?
I think that's a misspelling. I will find out what it says in the text.
When you're trying to convince a public servant to do their job, you can make a stand by changing its okay, maybe that's not useful.
That's something you're definitely going to want to use later,
Yeah.
but I don't know that it's useful in what you're trying to do right now, unless you want to say someone in the org is a city official of some kind.
I mean, so okay. It sounds like you want to leverage the two of them to get this done, though. What does it look like as you reach out to them to get their assistance?
I'm mostly just looking like you guys were in a support group. I imagine that took some level of like organization to put together. Like, do you know anything about like who organized it, or if that was, or if it was like, or if they were involved directly with the organization, and like, do you have, and like, because there's some like, I found like, I found like, I've found something happening that I think people like, if people knew what was going on, they might like want to, like, they might not be happy about it.
Who are you asking? Because their response is like, who is this scene with? Because their response is going to differ depending on who you're talking to.
I guess Danny, like, it would like, I guess I'm trying to just figure out like if they know who was like in charge of organizing the support groups or anything like that, because I don't know much about like, you know, political organizing, so I'm just trying to.
Well, it sounds like the end goal is to get the same group of people to care about, or are you trying to build a new group of people who care about the new
I mean, I imagine there'd be some overlap, but like mostly like I don't think I could go to the same group of people who were affected by Quentin and just say, hey, this other thing is happening, and like expect them to all like, I guess, switch
over with you. Yeah, so I think Danny like appraises you when you say this. He's, damn, it's really cool to see you wanting to make a difference like this. Well, to be clear, like the stuff with Quentin kind of fell into my lap. I mean, you were there for the whole thing, but there are a couple of things that you do when you want to organize people. I don't think there's anything wrong. The support groups are still kind of going on. We don't have as many people coming as before. It is kind of like a space for people affected by online bullying. But I bet if you came and you talked to people there, you would probably get a couple of people who are at least, you know, somewhat passionate about it. I think the best way, right, for you to get people invested in a cause that matters to you is to talk to people you already know and get them invested in it too. That's just, you know, it's kind of like how you invite your friends to do shows at different venues. Like one of you has an in, and then you get more people interested and invested.
Okay.
What's the thing that you're seeing out there?
You know all the surveillance cameras and closed circuit all around the town?
Oh God, do I ever?
A friend of mine had a run-in with the police not too long ago, and it looks like they're rolling out some kind of new, like, AI-based surveillance algorithm. Like, it already got him detained for shoplifting while after he was out of town. While he was out of town. And like the other thing I've been walking around town, and what I've seen is that I'm pretty sure they use it to plan raids on homeless encampments.
Yeah. That's fucked, dude. Sorry.
Sorry, teenager, that I shouldn't say that to.
Exactly.
You think a teenager has never heard the word fuck before?
I'm supposed to be the
Adults always feel
adult,
that
man.
way.
Scott, I'm supposed to be the adult. I should know better. I should be a good role model. Or something. Well, okay. And he kind of like leans in and
You're having a teenager in your bar, so like not sure if you're up to
oh,
great
whoa,
stuff.
whoa. It's got a bar area. We're an entertainment venue. We are licensed differently under the city's zoning laws.
And Utah restaurants have to have this location is a restaurant, not a bar, like sign on the front. It's so wild.
At least in Seattle, like I know of several venues that have like it's all ages throughout here, and then this zone is where the bar is. And they have like nights where it's like, oh, you can take your drink whenever, but when they're having an all ages show, it's like, no. The big security guards will absolutely come tackle you if you try to take your drink out of the zone.
North Carolina, like the liquor laws are so fucked that smaller places have to classify themselves as like a private club instead of a bar, because like it's actually cheaper to do that, and it's like so like people have to pay a membership. It's like you pay like $5 for a membership, and then you can like eat and drink like normal.
That's so wild. So he kind of leans in and he's thinking it through with you. Okay, so and there's like a sort of guilty look on his face as he says that. In my experience, and like I've done activism like this before, it is really hard to get people to care about people who are homeless. And while I am absolutely on board with you about that aspect, man, one of the first things that I see tank these movements is that we don't teach people to see homeless people as people first and homeless second, right? So you need to know a lot about the whole issue in order to, build up a coalition who cares about all of its aspects. And there are definitely people who are going to be in this for the right reason and are going to say, hey, yeah, it's messed up that you're taking away a safe place to sleep from people who already don't have that guaranteed. But you got to come at it from all angles if you're, if you're going to get those fucking liberals on your side. Shit. Ugh.
Fucking liberals.
Okay.
Fucking liberals.
You can say liberals around me.
He gives you the point. Do you know anybody who's already doing the work? That's the other question, right?
I was hoping I could link up with like doing the work as in like against the AI surveillance or like
Yeah. Any of it, right? So you're absolutely welcome to come make an announcement at the next meeting for the cyberbullying support group.
Yeah.
And the other thing that will help you is like, you make your organizational moves, you make connections with other people who are organizing in the same direction, and you combine forces.
Has Jordan sent the his list of names to the
Yes.
to the group?
Yeah.
We're treating
just
this
making our
all as
personal chat.
loosely chronological.
Okay.
If it's convenient
I-
to already have the names, you have the names.
As I put in the
Jordan
personal chat, Jordan sent a picture of his notes that he then also sent text translating some of it. He's already forgotten what's on them, honestly, but he can read his own chicken scratch. So, yeah, you have all of it. He took pictures of it for you. He took real notes while he was talking to the guy. He just forgot them immediately.
Jordan did mention there was a public defender who was pretty vocal about opposing this. Kyosuke Yamaguchi, I think his name was.
Okay. So
Yeah,
there
we
you go.
did with him.
Reach out to him, ask him what he's already doing, ask him if he knows anything that you can jump onto, and then in the meantime, do your research, spread the word, tell people what the real tangible effects of this are going to be, and then start planning actions. There are other people who can help you figure out, the specific details of like, oh, should this be a march? Should it be a sit-in? Like, there are people who have done the activism work already. But what it needs is people, and you know people. So, how do we feel about a 6-step clock for organizing resistance in the city?
I'm down.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and for now I'm just gonna put it in my my consequences document. And I think this absolutely deserves a tick.
I'm very worried that at some point we're gonna become like this and be like everything is fine. This is the Modern Witch Tarot,
That's
by
just
the way.
Jordan on your average Monday. I'm just saying.
No, that's real. That's real. Modern Witch Tarot.
So yeah,
y'all.
that's very pretty tarot.
It's so good. It's one of my faves. I'd been feeling my tarot oats since my stream, my tarot fundraising stream since yesterday. So I've been playing
We
the
know I should
card.
get together about a tarot-based TTRPG I want to make.
Oh, I played one yesterday. We will talk.
Back to the wait, I think I've had that book. Or
Modern
that
Witch
tarot
Tarot.
deck.
Good. It's so good.
So, Dan, is there anything else you want out of that scene?
Not really. I think I'm good.
Okay.
Did you want
Yeah,
to
so
make
I think we montage the moment of Scott like getting up in front of the people at the meeting and kind of communicating with them and getting people on board. So you have yourself a little mailing list.
All right.
Cool. So everybody's gotten a chance to go once. Who wants to go next?
I want to propose something to the group.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Do we want to try and dive into darkness now, or do we want to do a little more investigating first?
Would it benefit us to dive in now?
Depends.
It might be good to learn new things about the nature of the threat that we can't learn in the real world.
I'm open to it for sure.
Yeah.
Would
And
you say we've spent time studying the vessel? Because otherwise we might have some degree of difficulty.
Well, I'm not saying Emperor's New Clothes. I'm just saying dive into darkness. Just sort of get a.
I'm saying, like, to dive into darkness, like, we get a boost if we've spent time studying the vessel, we get a penalty if we haven't. So, like,
Yeah.
you think this is sufficient to say we've spent time studying the vessel?
I think I'm going to be actually crystal clear on that. I would say that right now, at this exact moment, you have not spent time studying the vassal. You have spent time investigating the vassal's plans. Nobody has, like, hopped on the internet to go, who this guy? What's his deal?
Yeah.
And I think, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
Okay,
Adam.
maybe. Yeah, maybe we should look into this cook
Not
guy
Monty
before
Cook.
we.
Doesn't have Tom Nook.
As far as I know, for all intents and purposes, Monty Cook is an absolutely okay guy.
Yeah,
Tom Nook
no.
can fuck off though.
It seems like we need to spend some time studying the vassal probably before we dive in because I feel like that's important. I don't know necessarily that I have anything like role wise at this point in time, but I will add some role play and say that Neela goes about her artwork and her murals, and she makes a very inobtrusive mural on the police station. She doesn't post it on her Instagram, but she does like put the @Mandelas and Marigolds tag on there because it's her artwork. But she's just not gonna claim it on her Instagram just yet, even though she does take pictures. But I think
Advertise you're working with the cops. What could go wrong?
listen.
I mean, it could go really right. All colors are beautiful.
Even blue.
Y'all remember that?
Ugh.
Somebody got ACAB put on like a bunch of different cop cars in New York for Pride Month.
Mm.
It was great.
That's dramatic.
Whoo! Okay. Anyway, so no, like Neela's mural is like it's very inoffensive. Like the public mural has like it's very like community themed, like like it's very much trying to, because she knows she has to kind of do the job well, like make the cops look like part of the community, like it's got marigolds on it, it's got warm friendly colors, it has children playing, like it's very
let's say for the sake of the timeline here, and also so that you have a good reason to have regular access to the station, that you're doing this over a series of weeks. So you've got like a plan in your sketchbook right now. Maybe it's blocked out in terms of colors and stuff.
Yeah.
But you're intentionally not just like slapping it up to stretch this window of opportunity.
Sounds good. Do we want a clock for it?
No,
like
I'm gonna let that be taken care of by the Danielle Jarvis bullshit detector clock.
Okay, that sounds fair. Totally fine. But yeah, so she's doing that, and then I think when she goes into the basement, after she's done like her first thing, she does like create in like a less like obvious part of the basement, like a sigil, and like starts to kind of paint that like potential doorway.
Yeah, cool.
She kind of starts to pull that out. So it's there and waiting.
It takes the effort of everybody involved to build the portals. But you have the spot picked out, and so far you have a sort of like blue and purple swirl background with bright blotches in different spots.
Yep, sounds like her. Sounds like her.
So, Dan, I think it'd be interesting if Scott and Jordan went in to talk to our public defender friend as the two people who kind of have the most reason and information on him. If you want to make that your action, or I can make that mine.
I mean, isn't there a thing that's like working together on a?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can help
And maybe Sushi and I can investigate the vassal. Like, y'all can talk to the public defender and we can investigate the vassal.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yay, go team!
We're doing it.
Well, I feel like public defenders are usually busy as fuck. Like,
Well, that's why we're gonna have to do some
getting an
shenanigans.
appointment might be hard.
No, we're not getting an appointment. We're sneaking in.
Uh,
We're bullshitting our way in. I'm sure.
You're kneeling.
Here's the thing. He's working with like a larger organization, and while he is a public defender, like Kosuke's role, not Yosuke, Kosuke. Kosuke's role is
Kosuke or Kyosuke?
Kyosuke, I think.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought
I wrote Kosuke.
Okay.
Oh.
I trust
Oh,
you.
it's Kosuke, not Kyosuke. Okay.
Yeah, Kosuke, not Kyosuke. Brain. So
He works with an organization.
he is within a larger organization, and his job is, yes, sometimes picking up a case or two, but he is also like the face of the organization in a lot of ways, and he is the one, spearheading their initiatives on public policy. So he's slightly easier to get time with than a normal public defender, and he is particularly passionate. When you get on the line with his secretary, you find out that he's particularly passionate about involving teens in the legal and legislative process. So you are able to get an appointment with him.
And is it funnier if Jordan seemingly is dragging Scott along? Not necessarily that he is, but just his enthusiasm is like, come on. I'm gonna talk to the defender guy that doesn't like AI. I'm with him. I think he's pretty chill, honestly. Like, he's right.
I mean, like, Scott, for as much as he's comfortable, like, on stage, when it comes to just, like, regular stuff, he's not used to being at, like, the forefront of things. So I can definitely see him being, like, dragged to this meeting by Jordan. It's like, do we have to talk to him? Like,
That
person?
depends. If I have to distract people so that we have an opportunity to talk, then you're going to be the one who talks to him. Because I don't think you want to try and gain the attention of an entire crowd of people, or security guards, or anyone else. I'm going to try and take the load-bearing part of this, I promise, but we don't know if that's going to be him or something else. So come on.
You arrive in the offices, to the law offices of name, and name. And
Do we cheat him and how?
Say again?
Huey Cheatham and how?
Do we cheat him and how?
Oh, yeah.
Chief Consul Hugh Lewis Dewey.
Oh my god, you're taking me back to my public radio upbringing.
Huey, Dewey,
Huey,
and Louie.
Dewey, and Yamaguchi.
Huey Dewey.
So you arrive at the office. You're sent to you sit down in the sitting room after the front desk person is like, oh yeah, you got an appointment. And out comes Kosuke Yamaguchi. He is on the younger end, like early to mid 30s, but already graying because his job is stressful as hell.
To us teenagers, he looks ancient.
Yes. He does have like an energy to the way that he moves,
yes.
though. He is enthusiastic. He shakes both of your hands with like vim and vigor, and
Jordan kind of wants to be him when he grows up now.
is just so stoked to have the both of you there, and maybe even uses those specific words. Come on back. So, which one of you is Jordan, and which one of you is
First one.
Jordan? Great. Scott. So it sounds like the two of you are interested in making like a student organization, and being kind of like a voice for students against this AI project. What can I tell you? What can I do for you to help you launch your thing?
Jordan looks at Scott to see if he's going to volunteer to talk first.
Well, I did do some canvassing a bit. There was another support group at that a friend of mine hosts, and so I did get like a few names of people who were also interested, of people who might be interested in supporting it.
Okay. Do you know What? How much do you know about this technology already, and what specific stuff can I help you understand better in terms of like our stance on it? Because I want to make sure we're aligned about how we tackle.
Well, that's perfect. As Jordan speaks up, that's perfect because I'm actually a lot more interested in learning more about what this is and why it's bad. I'm more of I got like social media followers that I think would be interested in being more active in their community and political measures. And when I heard about this, I thought that doesn't sound like a good thing. I figured people should know. Think of me as the journalist and he's the community activist. But
I love that.
between the two of us, would love to hear more about the problems with this. As far as I can tell, it just seems like a massive invasion of privacy.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me heat. Jordan. You're doing
Oh,
Rebel
goody.
Eyes.
Oh, goody. Maybe perhaps Scott being there is helpful and I can get some kind of...
Strong hit.
We love a strong hit.
Mine was a weak hit, but...
Okay, so I don't know what the information Scott is after with Rebel Eyes. So I'll need to know the kind of details on that when you've got a second.
Yeah, Jordan is looking for what damage that I don't already know is this causing? Who is this hurting, I guess?
Okay. So... Okay, so here's where we're at right now. We know, and Kosuke kind of leans over. We know that the way that these programs operate is inherently biased. It's very often the biases of the people designing the algorithms and programs have a strong correlation with the biases that we see in the people and victims that end up getting flagged. There is
garbage out. Jordan says
garbage
the only
in,
technical term he knows.
So if there is a core bias built into the system, either in how it recognizes faces, how it determines what constitutes a crime, how it places people at the scene, those get amplified rather than removed by processing it through technology. And here's the trouble that we have is while we know from many situations that bias is amplified by technology, not removed by it, it is very difficult to prove without specific cases. What we need to make our point to the public is we need multiple incidents where we can very clearly prove that somebody was picked up and they were not in the wrong. So the Rebel Eyes aspect of this is you know how to get the information you need. What you need is a list of basically victims. What I'm going to say is that you're going to have to put yourself in danger to get it. And Jordan, people know that you are working with Kosuke.
I love the idea that on the way in, Jordan, being very keyed into it, saw a security camera that definitely he saw it like focus in on them. It's like the visual tell of this, like.
Yeah, I love that. You see your face spins.
Exactly.
Great. Yeah, so you're gonna have to put yourself in danger. I think that means that like you can make the call on exactly how you want to do this, but you need to basically document, and there's nothing that cops like less than people filming them doing their jobs badly.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a real danger to you and your, but that is what needs to happen.
Yeah. In the scene and in characters, like, Well, we got a buddy that's at least one, and if you have one or two, that gives us a nice starting point, right? I have no idea how many you're gonna need, but
As many as we can get.
okay.
And if you know people that you can point this out to, anything that you can do to amplify awareness is valuable to and valuable to the cause. Sorry, Dan, what was it that Scott was after?
Oh, well, you just said roll heat, so I rolled heat.
Oh, I was directing that at Jordan.
Yeah, my character was the one.
I wasn't sure if I could help him.
Yeah. Oh, help would just give me advantage, but it's fine. I still got a weak hit, and I kind of like the consequence. At the end of this, Jordan be like, and my buddy Scott here, definitely, and he's like trying to drag him to center, definitely has things to say about maybe you helping him with the community organization of this group he was talking about, and tries to drag him in front of him. If Scott doesn't move, then Jordan is going to get behind him to be like, I have talked too much. It is now my friend's turn.
Okay. I'd argue that you're maybe trying to connect with Kosuke here.
Now, only because he's already rolled for it. This does feel a little bit like, if you spin it right, making the vassal's threat clear, and you already rolled heat.
Although, would that require this to be like in connection with Mr. Cook, Captain Cook?
That's up for our wonderful
So,
That's one
side.
sorry, say your question again.
Would connecting to make the vassal's threat clear require this to be like drawing the relation to Adam?
I think so.
as
Yeah.
the vassal?
If you're trying to say like, I would say you're doing the check against heat. If you're saying like, I know who made this algorithm. I know their name is Adam Cook, and I get bad vibes. That would feel like heat. So what is Scott actually say and do to try and connect with Kosuke here?
Doesn't have to be that. That was just a thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like. I feel like we haven't we as a crew haven't dove deep enough into the actual vassal side of it yet.
Do you want to put a pin in this? Talk to the other two as if they were doing their investigation simultaneously. Back?
Sure. Yeah.
That
Okay.
was my thought.
Sounds good. Hey, you
And
two.
that's just
What are you?
trying to just make it about something else instead.
It's it is up to you right now what you want to do, Dan. But if you want that to be the angle and keep that roll, I'm fine with it. But if you feel like you don't have the information that you need right now to do it, that's when I would say let's cut to the other side and then cut back.
Okay.
Dan, we can chat about.
Is that what you want to do?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Leona, Michelle, tell us what you're doing. How are you investigating this dude?
The dude named Adam Cook, right, Sushi?
Yep.
Correct.
Well, what are your thoughts? How can we figure out something about this guy?
I mean, you're.
And I think Neela pulls out her phone and starts Googling just to see.
It's like they're in the station, and maybe you could sneak me in your bag. I could try to investigate his desk? Question mark? Sushi's just like, I don't know if this is what would be interesting in there, but I can maybe see something.
Maybe. That sounds like a good call. Does Google give us anything off the bat?
Yeah. So you know that he graduated about 4 years ago, undergrad from the technical college in the area. Or not the technical college, the place where Jordan's mom works.
Yeah. It's a respectable community college, we'll say. It's still community college, but it's like known for the tech things.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like
Community
an
college that
institution,
is slowly trying to.
PhD.
Sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say it's like it's known as like the information technology college. We have like BCIT here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the information technology college. Like it's just
Slowly trying to push community, but yeah. God, what a mood. There's a college very close to me. So,
Actually,
yeah, you find out that he graduated. How deep do you start looking?
I will read that out to Sushi and I'll go, well, he's a local graduate. I don't know if going to his college will get us anything. But if he's working at the station.
I'm sorry, I'm asking a different angle. Let me rephrase. How hard do you stalk his online presence?
Oh, neither will stalk. Not a problem.
So, you get a couple of interesting things. Among his like list of he has kind of like normal tweets. He tweets about like not tweets. We had a fake Twitter at one point. I forget what it was called.
Whatever it was,
I don't
it's
know.
been renamed to Y.
No!
No. No. Why?
That's really good.
W.
Why?
Does that mean that you call? Does that mean that you call the posts on it
Yeets.
whites?
Oh.
I hate it!
I was gonna call them questions, but you know what? I like Yeats. Yeats is my favorite.
Yeats is pretty good. Yeah, so his Yeats are constantly retweeting like local tech moguls, things like that. You find his LinkedIn.
Reading.
His LinkedIn is like aggressively pro-capitalist. He gets hundreds of hits for basically being the asshole who's like, things are the way they are. You got a grind set mindset. Like the specific juice of posts that for whatever reason the LinkedIn algorithm just loves.
Yeah.
And then on his personal page, you see that shortly after he got this like contract, he posts like, "Hey, got a new contract with the city. Pretty excited about what we're working on here." Before that post, there are a bunch of pictures of him with a woman who he is clearly close to, and after that post, they are missing. All the pictures of him and this girl who were clearly dating are just gone.
I didn't mean to yell it, but like it was
she's just not in the picture anymore.
She dumped his ass.
He
He
dumped
went
his
his
ass.
You don't know that. Maybe he went his own way.
Maybe he's an incel who's upset because the girl dumped him because he's a piece of trash. And you know what?
Oh.
Yes.
There's an incel community called Men Going Their Own Way. Dan's doing a bit.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that. Okay, but now I know that. But
Good.
listen, the point is, he sounds like incel trash. And let me be clear, dude, you can do so much better than that. That's not how you react to when a girl dumps you. How you react when a girl dumps you is to be better, my dude. This isn't better.
I'm just saying that, like, there's clear evidence of some kind of breakup.
I know. I just couldn't help
And you
with the bit. I couldn't help.
Yeah,
I couldn't help.
Good. It was fun.
Leona and
You should
Neela
do it.
are
Yeah.
going on a rant.
Leona and Neela both had like a murder there, and we just like had to do it. The bleed was real.
This was the event horizon.
I just Neelam has like a slight incel twitch at the moment of like, ugh. We won't get into it.
You managed to get the name of the girl in question. Her name is Amy Huang. Huang.
Okay. I hate the idea of approaching this man's ex-girlfriend and being like, yo, your ex-boyfriend is up to bullshit. Like, I want to leave sis alone, you know? Like, she dumped his ass for good reason.
She'd be like, how's that my problem?
Yeah, right? Like, if she's not with him
Get back
anymore.
at him. Don't you want to make?
I am giving you things to pursue.
Yeah.
You do with them what you will.
Mila's not a revenge girl, though. Like, if you were here, that could be a possibility, but she's not that type of girly.
I mean, Sushi is just sitting on your shoulders going like, is the phrase? And like, you see like the tail like flop across your shoulders, go, it's just like, what's that saying you like saying, that people like saying all the time? Spill the tea?
What about the tea?
Like, and now he's batting against your ear. You know, ask her what's up with him. Why'd you break up?
I mean, maybe it's worth a shot. It just feels kind of invasive. She saes that to the cat that's currently patting her ear. Realizes that she's talking to the wrong audience. Realizes that she's talking to the wrong audience. And she goes, let's put it this way. If an unwelcome creature attempted to eat your cat treat, you'd be mad, right?
I mean, I'd bite him.
Yeah. I'm afraid that if I approach his ex-girlfriend about someone she's clearly not with, she might bite me, but the human version of it.
Just what, a call-out post on why?
Sushi is just like, is just very much like, like, I mean, you could try anyways, but okay. And is just going to like hop off your shoulders and like tail flicking, go like, all right, so are we going to the police station? Is like, should I go find this?
Oh, this is such a dilemma. I don't know, gang. Okay, alright, you know what? Because I'm stuck, I'm asking the cards. Neela is asking the cards what to do. She needs direction. We're doing it. I
So she has a deck of tarot cards with her, yeah?
Yeah, she does. I put it in the chat. Neela, season 2 Neela is getting into tarot. So she pulls out her card deck, starts shuffling, and she goes, I don't know.
So outrageously appropriate for this game.
It's so good, isn't it? I realized that, and I was just like, you know what? I need to make it part of the game because it just feels so entirely appropriate. Judgment!
Oh no.
That's my
Well,
covenant.
Judgment!
I will say nothing to not influence your decision there, but it says something to me.
It sounds like the cards are saying, listen, Sushi.
Yeah.
Because that is in fact his
I didn't want to say it, but
his arcana.
No. Listen, why do you think I started laughing when I got judgment? No, absolutely. She like looks at the card. She holds it up to Sushi. She goes, "All right, let's go talk to the girlfriend then."
All right.
I just want it noted, canonically, there's no like the idea of each of you having tarot's major arcana is entirely invented in the world of the game. It doesn't actually like exist.
But let's be honest,
Maybe your judgment has a cat on it.
Well, even without it being Sushi's card, if you're like, should I go after the girlfriend to give me dirt, or talk to the guy, and you pulled judgment.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds like
Fair
get
enough.
the dirt money.
Yeah. Like,
Usually
either
that-
way, like, regardless of how you shake it, the cards are spoken. And Neela just kind of looks at it and goes, all right, let's go.
She's acting within the character of his arcana. I'm just saying.
No,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. And the fact that a sushi card was purely coincidental, that didn't even occur to me at first.
So, Sushi, you get as far as places that Neela can get in the police station easily. In probably smuggled in some kind of bag, I assume. How do you get to a place where you can get some more information?
Okay, so wait, are we in the police station? We're going after the girlfriend. Just double check.
I thought the implication was that we were taking you to the police station. Is that not?
Oh, no. I thought we were going for the girlfriend because that was Sushi's
Ah!
idea. Yeah.
Sushi had
Judgment.
two ideas.
Yeah.
Consequently.
Well, judgment feels like tea, you know?
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to
Sweet judgment.
look up Amy Huang.
Yeah.
How are you getting close to her?
Well, if I can find her information on social media, where does she work?
You tell me.
I suppose it doesn't matter, but I'm gonna try. I think Sushi and I are gonna approach her outside of work. Like maybe she's outside on her lunch break or something.
Yeah, but what does she do for a living? I'm asking you.
Oh darn, I don't know.
The
Who-
vibe for me
Go off.
would
Go
be
off.
something that would involve like tech, social media, the internet, but isn't actually techie. I would say maybe not necessarily influencer, but it could definitely see some like something artsy, because that's the kind of person that like a tech bro would date and then get dumped by because like he doesn't actually understand art and pretends to like it.
Oh,
she's more
front
of an
end
artist.
web designer.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
really high-end fancy web design.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
pretty good.
she's
She's
a web
good at a
designer
WYSIWYG.
and a graphic designer. She
Yes.
does. She has like a couple of pieces of art up in like cafes and galleries around the city, but it's not her main shtick.
Every
It's-
marketer and web designer I know is also a graphic designer. I'll be real.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
I know all about this.
This is for the audience. I know you know.
Yeah, also wrote some,
Wait,
I
you
saw
think-
the web engineer and I'm like, but like the front end designers part.
No, that's inspired. I love that.
I love it so much.
Okay, so you're catching her like. You said you're trying to catch her on like a lunch break or something?
Yeah,
what does that
yeah,
look
yeah.
like?
I feel like there must be. I feel like she probably has cafes that she frequents, like especially where her art is installed and like, you know. So I think Neela. Neela.
Yeah,
goes to
there's a cafe called the Bean's Knees.
I love it. I love it.
The logo's a
she-
little bean with bee wings on it.
Yes. And she will go there and like hang out outside with Sushi like on a picnic bench, and she'll wait for like she'll go in, she'll buy a sandwich, and then she'll wait for Amy to like come by and like buy her lunch, and then she'll kind of like stop Amy as like Amy is kind of about to leave and go, excuse me, are you Amy Hong?
Yeah.
Hi, Neela, big fan of your art. I'm an artist myself.
Oh. I thought I was about to get served.
Oh God, no.
thank
Why
you.
would you get served? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. It's just I watch a lot of like procedural shows.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. No, you're
Sorry, what?
Propaganda.
propaganda.
Sorry. No, keep going.
Propaganda.
Yeah, maybe
Totally
very
understandable
messy,
here.
I don't know.
No, I'm just a fan. It's super nice to meet you. I was wondering if we could get lunch together. I brought my cat Sushi with me, so we're just sitting outside if that's cool with you.
Sushi's gonna like poke his head out from like the bag and just like
You're in luck that so at first Amy is like I don't know, I got like, and then cat in the. It's like cat in a bag. And yeah, and is 100% there and asking like 15 questions about Sushi. Like, oh my god, what a funky set of spots! Wow, such a cool cat. Wow, oh, you're
Absolutely.
a very handsome boy. All that shit. Yeah. So, tell me how the conversation goes.
Yeah, I think she keeps it like general, nice, light at first, and then she goes, "So, Amy, artist to artist, I know our hearts are the kind of things where we need to feel understood, you know? And I have some questions for you of a personal nature, if you're okay with it."
Shoot. I reserve the right not to say anything.
Listen, fair enough, I understand. So, I am a fan, I want to be very clear. But I also, was wondering if you were willing to tell me a little bit about Adam Cook? And let me tell you why. It's because I'm worried about the things that he's doing. One of my friends got pretty hurt by him, basically.
And what do you mean?
Well, I'm pretty sure Adam Cook created something that scans security cameras for the cops, and because of that, my friend got pulled into the police station, but it was a mistake. Like, it was a mistaken identity thing.
I really wish that I could help, but I don't know that much about his work. I'm sorry. I have to go. It's been really nice talking to you, and this is absolutely your opportunity to interject.
Yeah, wait. I'm so sorry. I know this was a really sensitive subject, and I totally understand that you may not know anything. Is there anything that you can tell me about him to kind of point me in the right direction? Like, I don't want you to have to get involved with this guy. He seems like a schmuck, you know? Like, I'm not a big fan of his work.
Putting it
either.
lightly.
Yeah, he seems like, yeah. But listen, I don't want people to get hurt by him. So, you don't have to get involved with him, but like, if there's anything that you can point me towards.
Check against heat.
Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, wait, that's the wrong button. There we go. Weak hit. Whew.
Okay, so on a weak hit, they'll answer a few questions or do a minor favor that their own standing. What are you looking for? To ask a couple of questions?
She is looking to be pointed in the right direction. Like, if she doesn't want to answer questions, that's fine, but just like point her in the right direction. Either or.
Ask your question.
I assume it's...
Okay. Sushi, help me out here. What kind of questions should we ask?
Well, so we want to get dirt on, specifically, why is Adam such a schmuck? Like, why is he, like, first off, like, is there, what I'm curious about is, like, why the fuck did she dump him immediately? Like, why did they dump him immediately after?
Why did she dump him?
Yeah, why'd you dump him? And
Why'd
then
you
another
dump
one
him?
is, what
Why'd you
makes
dump
him so skeevy?
So which question are we asking? Because not to take away your agency player, Michelle, but you are not understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to focus on stuff for the Emperor's New Clothes?
Well, I was thinking like that, but also to help poor Scott, who would need some info.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with why did you dump him, first of all? What happened?
It's extremely personal.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is to bring up our content warnings again. racism is absolutely a factor in this following conversation, and I'm sorry if I don't hit all of the right notes as somebody, as a white lady. I'm doing my best to put myself in some shoes. If it's a little bit raggedy, I apologize. He's a racist. And, like, doesn't realize it. Like, I should have figured something out. Like, he's only ever dated girls from, like, Japan, Korea, and China.
I'm so sorry.
You meet somebody in college and you think they're one way, and then they're really not. But, like, more than that, he got really into the idea that the way that society gets better is by getting rid of the people who make it bad. And that, like, you can measure the ills of a society by, you know, the people who are not behaving. But it's so much more complicated than that.
Yeah,
And
it is.
Basically, he thinks that if he can make an algorithm good enough to stop people before they do a crime, that, you know, the world is going to be a better place for it. But all he's doing is the same shit that he did with me, but with everybody that he met. Everybody in the city is subject to his tiny, narrow worldview, and he's not willing to, like, admit that he's wrong about people. A lot of, I'm not like that, buts, you know?
Yeah. Not all men, blah, 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 blah. I get it, girl. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
God.
Ugh, I know. And she, like, pats her.
I hope things go okay for your friend. I don't know if any of that can help, but I do have to go.
Yeah, totally. Is it cool if I give you my number? In case you think of anything?
Almost.
Okay.
Or you wanna
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Jot it down. If I think of anything, I might give you a call.
Thanks. Again, I'm really sorry to ruin your day like this and darken your doorstep, but I really appreciate you talking to me. And she's saying that as she's, like, jotting down the number. I'm hoping that
it's not likely that you're gonna get anything off of. I'm just gonna tell you now.
Yeah.
Strong enough to get a minor covenant.
Yeah.
But
she will kind
It's
of
out
end
there.
it by, yeah, she will kind of say, but I am hoping to help him see the world differently. At the end of the day, that's my goal. And maybe if that means he'll stop with this algorithm thing and people won't get hurt, then that's a win overall. I still don't think you should, like, go back to him, obviously, but that's my goal here. So, thank you.
yeah. I think that's probably where I want to call the show for tonight. We will open next time, Scott, with an opportunity for you to push forward your conversation with Kosuke. But for now, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for The World Within You. We're so glad to have had you. We're going to do outros in the same way that we did intro. So starting with Michelle, going around the horn and ending on me. Let's do this.
Alright, awesome. Hello, it's me, Michelle. I played Sushi, our cat today.
Cat.
And you can find me here on the Etterridge Roleplay, specifically tomorrow for our premiere of Until Stars Collapse with a very familiar face over here. So, you know, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Otherwise, there's plenty of more places you can find me, which is here, actually. So, you know, before I start talking about all the things that have been here, we're gonna just pass it on to the next person.
Plenty of places, like here.
That's over to you, Leona.
Hello, my name is Leona. You can find me all over the internet at the Leona Maple or theleonamaple.card.co. You can find me here every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, so come back in 4 weeks for The World Within You. You can also find me behind the scenes over at Apochromatic Unlimited. You can, most importantly, find me this Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my Twitch channel. I'm so excited to finally be bringing back DEI Q&A month. Oh yeah, I've been streaming on Twitch for a hot minute, but I haven't, like, there was a little bit of a break. We were doing some solidarity with Palestine. We were doing some...
That was the O part.
And I am doing a return of my DEI Q&As, but more importantly, new phone who this? Like, it's gonna be a whole new look, a whole new brand. It's gonna be real pretty. I'm so excited. We're gonna do tarot card pull because I'm really feeling my tarot slightly. And yeah, I'm super excited. Please visit my channel this Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll talk DEI, we'll talk tarot, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about because it's a Q&A stream. We'd really love to see you there. That's me.
All right, that sends it on over to Tate.
Oh, for some reason I thought I was third. Hello, Twitch, and hello, Internet. My name
you
is
are
Tate
third.
You are
Washington.
third.
Am I just not counting correctly? Look, it's late. It's late. I've just been
I'm not the only
embodying a
one.
teen version of me because that's what Jordan is. I've had a lovely time playing Jordan today. You can find me on the internet at Tate the Terrific at any platform that you dare to find that I want to be found in. You will never find my secret several tumblers. Anyways,
SoundCloud.
Oh, no, I don't have one of those, definitely, for sure. I also don't have plenty of other websites that would get me in trouble if I said them on Twitch. Anyways, and yeah, you'll find me here every 4 weeks on this show. We also have some shows that we're recording right now. That's what I'm really spending a lot of my time on. So look out for other shows that are gonna come out on here, or maybe a future Patreon. You should bug Foxy about that. What you should really do is follow this channel's Twitter, Neon Lights Our Play, where we have several people, some of who are on the stream, that are much funnier than me. And also there's several of them, so they have better time to come up with better jokes. And it's where we announce a lot of cool stuff. You can also join our Discord, where we do a lot of memeing and a lot of talking, and we do a lot of voice chats, and it's where we announce and also pull players, because next month we're going to have a lot of one-shots. Wait out for that. That's why you should follow our Twitter. We're going to talk about the cool mecha one-shots that we're doing. Anyways, and that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening.
All right, Dan.
All right. No, I could have sworn I was fourth. But anyway, I'm Land the Dan. Much like Michelle, I can be found in many places, including here on Neon Lights Roleplay, where you will probably find me, depending on when it goes up, some stuff that is going to be recorded alongside Tate and Michelle. And then probably after that, back here in a couple weeks to a month. I'm very unclear on what our schedule for this is, but on
4 weeks.
No, not for this. For By His Shadowed
Right.
Peace, our Warhammer 40k setting political intrigue mystery thriller, which we are had to go on break because Solidarity with Palestine, and so we are going to try and work on getting our stockpiled episodes back out there. But then after that, like Tate alluded to, I will be right back here in about a month on The World Within You. I almost forgot the name of the show.
I forget the name of this show all the time.
Tweewee, as we lovingly call it backstage.
Yes.
Not to be confused with The World Ends With You.
Yes. Which we share an acronym with. But I promise, I was not riffing off of The World Ends With You when I came up with the title with this. It's part of a quote from Persona 5. Secret lore! Hey everybody, I'm Legendary Furman. You can find me all over the internet, as on all the places on the internet that matter. This includes, of course, YouTube, itch, places. The most important things that you can do if you want to support me as a streamer is come and see my streams. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be right back here doing one of the premiere streams for Case and Soul with the lovely Michelle as my facilitator. On Wednesday, I'm going to be back over on Plus One XP for a continuation of a one-shot. You're going to catch up on the wonderful Little Wolves game that we played last week with myself, Keegan EXE, Osirix Franco, and Nevin Holmes GMing us through a shape-shifting Wonderland. It's a game where we wear cute little masks. So if you think masks that look like wolves are cute, come check us out. It's a very cool little game that's going to be starting backer kitting soon. Finally, if you want to go to legendary-vermin.itch.io and peep them there. One of the games that I am making right now in continuous development is No Amount of Armor. Please check that out. We're going to have some new art for that game very soon. If you want to see that played, you can see Michelle wonderfully taking the reins of it with the rest of the crew over on Stardust Ghost, who I believe have a new episode coming soon? Question mark? Could be. Anyhow, I think that's all from me for tonight. Be a cool person. Know when you fucked something up. Right your wrongs. And always fight the good fight. We have been Neon Lights Roleplay, and this has been The World Within You. Good night!
Bye. Bye now.